Okay, so today it's all about getting amazing at what you are already good at. That I promise you will walk away with. I have used this technique in many facets of my life over the past 50 years, both in entrepreneurship and in sports. When I see people with inborn talents and gifts that very few people are given, it really hurts me to see that they're not exploiting this, so to speak, to the best of their ability. In this short video, I will not only help you figure out how to become amazing at what you're already good at, but I will also help you to take your God-given talents to new heights. And maybe you even discover a new business opportunity or what have you from this. And this is a tool that you can use in your daily life no matter where you're at. Hang tight, because here we go. All right, if you know already now that you'd like to know a little bit more about this, there's a link for you right in the description that you can click on. So go there right now. If not, continue watching and I'll teach you more. Okay, so becoming amazing and what you're already great at, that's an amazing thing if you can figure out how to do that. And today I will talk a little bit about that and try to help you with some good questions that can help you hone into just that. So look at yourself and the things that you have succeeded at in your life up until now. What is that like? Is that in a hobby, or has it been in other things, sports for example? Or what about other interests in general? Or what about with friends? Or was it with work? You tell me. There could be all kinds of things, right? And how did it start? Did you just by itself, or did you just kind of figure I'm good at this, or I enjoy doing this? Who knows? And what triggered it? Those are the kind of things that I want you to kind of contemplate a little bit here today. And I'm going to pose some good questions for you as we go along here. So hang with me, because it's going to be interesting. So when you started doing something that you're really good at, you kind of started people kind of noticing, and you started noticing, hey, you kind of have a knack for this. You kind of know what you're kind of good at in some sense. How did you feel about that? How did you do anything about it, or did you just say, hey, I'm really good at it and that's it? Or did you leave it at that? Did anything at all inspire you that you wanted to become better at that? That's a question I have for you. Because success leaves clues, and numbers, they do not lie. If you don't know what you're amazing at, do this. Ask 5 of your closest friends what they see in you that you are really good at. Then ask yourself some follow-up questions. For example, when do people come to you to ask for help? And what do you do that seems easy for you but is difficult for others? And think about, what were you doing the last time someone said, wow, you're really great at this? What was that? Or you could ask yourself, if you were to hire me for one thing, what would that be? Now, if you start asking these kind of questions, you should be coming up with some good feedback, good questions back. It's like saying, I do have an innate ability to do something like this. And the why I'm keeping on pounding these questions at you is because I want you to see if you can dig some secret little diamonds in the rough, or some kind of unique ability that you have, because guess what? You can make a business around that if that's what you're into, or you can decide to just get really good at it and do something great with it. Because if you have some abilities that you're not using, that what a waste that would be, right? That's kind of where I'm coming from. Or how about these questions? What about asking the following questions? What do I make look easy? It's another question that you can ask yourself, or you can ask somebody else that. And when have you seen me in my element, completely lit up and on fire? That's a great question to ask. And you know what? If you tap into yourself too, you kind of know when that is, because you go, oh, wow, this is really me. This is flowing very easily, right? Another question you could say to somebody is like, or to even to yourself, what would you not want to compete against me in? What would that be? So let's say you're good at a really unique thing. That's somebody like figuring out the Rubik's Cube, or going up in an air duel if you play soccer or what have you. Then ask yourself the following questions next. Who are the top 3 people in the world doing what you're good at? All right, and a little tip here is that you want to study them obsessively. And what would happen if you were to do something like this, practice this for about 30 minutes a day for the next 90 days? You see, consistency turns good into legendary. And who could you teach this skill to right now? Because in teaching forces mastery. And you can't teach what you don't truly understand. This is really, really key. And there's another mentor of mine said to me, if you learn something, the first thing you want to do, teach it as soon as you can to somebody else, because that enhances your own understanding of what it is that you're teaching. It's kind of funny how that is, but you kind of cement that and formulate an even stronger understanding of what it is that you're teaching. Now, next thing is, what's the scary version of using this skill? Have you thought about that? Look at the tip down below here. The version that makes your stomach flip. Do just that, okay? Growth lies within the outside comfort of yourself. That's where you want to go and push yourself. And very few people are able to do that. And I admire them very much, because I sometimes am a chicken shit, to be very honest with you. But if you can go there, that is a huge, huge step in the right direction. And can you do it in public where people see you fail? Now that puts your antennas and endorphins at a whole different level, right? So putting that pressure creates the diamonds in the rough, so to speak, or the finished polished diamonds, I should say in this case. Accountability creates excellence. And that's also where we find in so many groups of people that are there to support each other and have each other's back, truly have each other's back and want the best for each other. And think about this. What would the world-class version of you be doing differently? Have you thought about that? So try to imagine that. Brainstorm down a little bit for yourself. You want to close that gap one decision at a time, one step at a time, and see how you could really be at your world's best. Maybe there's somebody in your industry or somebody that you admire. Look at their progression over time if you have a chance to do that. Maybe look at some of their early videos or early attempts at competing at something or what have you. See how they've been growing and polished their thing. And you also will find out they're repeating the same stories. They're great at telling stories. They got a lot of good energy. And they say the same things and the same words, the same gestures over and over again. So they're really polished their presentation, so to speak. So who's already 10 steps ahead of you that you could learn from right now? You want to find some of those people and you want to ask some questions and even pay them for their time. The bonus tip here is basically there are shortcuts for anything, and they're actually called mentors. Somebody that has been there, done that ahead of you. You want to find them as soon as possible to shortcut that whole process. Why take a decade or 15 or 20 years to learn something really well when you can shortcut your process in months or less than a year that it's taken somebody to figure out for 10, 15 years? In their learning, right? And again, what if you documented your journey publicly, did it more out in the open? So share your process, share what you're going through, because I tell you what happens then. People will chime in and give you viewpoints that you haven't thought of. And the people that will chime in and give you viewpoints are usually the ones that's your target market. That is, if you're teaching a certain thing in business. So you want to be vulnerable, share your struggles, but also share your wins, right? And a little bonus tip here is that visibility forces improvement much faster. So you actually put it on steroids. Here's another interesting twist. Can you combine this skill with something else that you're good at? Like, for example, magic, it really happens at intersections where two people will come together with other things. Or I should say, when you do two different things that are kind of related to each other, I can't really think of a good example here. I wish I could. That really hones your understanding of how good you're at this and how you can improve it and where you could improve it, because now you can relate one to the other. So there's nobody else that has your exact same combination. You would know that, and that's why you need to tap into that. So the bottom line is, good gets you noticed, okay? Amazing gets you remembered. Now we're taking it a step up, right? From great to amazing. Legendary, that's get you sought after. That's really what we could be aiming for here. If you're willing to tap in to what it is that your God-given gifts are and your innate abilities and your drive to be your fullest best. And that's what the universe is here for us for, to make us be the best we can, to make us do good around us and help as many people as we can. And in order for us to be the best of ourselves, we need to push ourselves. We need to have a burning desire. We need to have a little fire under our tush. And that's exactly why I'm here, to point these things out to you, because you have a gift that nobody else has. We're all unique, just like I have certain gifts that I'm good at. And I've been tapping into a few of them, I know, throughout my life. And there's certain burning desires we have. And that's where we all come in. We want to support each other, help each other, take it to that next level, and you better do it with your thing as well. So the gap between good and amazing, or legendary, like I just said, it's just an intentional repetition with strategic feedback. And that's where you come in. So what is your first move? What are you going to use these questions for? Are you going to take it to the next level? Is this something that could help you with a new earning potential that you hadn't thought of yet? Maybe that is, and maybe it's not, or maybe it's just a hobby. But for what I want for you is to, why not become the best you can? Be a little bit competitive with yourself, and for that matter, others, if you want to, and do the best you can. And that's exactly what I'm asking for you today. So finally, comment below, brainstorm here a little bit in these comments. You have no idea who's going to watch these videos, and maybe there's somebody that holds the clue for you. So if you start sharing some of your thoughts, some of the things that you're really good at or had a knack for back in the day that you may want to revive, and that's something that I'm asking you to do. Look for that. Or if you're in the middle of something right now where you could bring in some of your unique talents, your born-in talents, your innate talents, your God-given gifts, this is your opportunity to do that right now. So hopefully this video helps you. Comment below. Let's all take ourselves to another level, and I'll see you on the other side. And here's my favorite high five. See ya.